Hey, welcome to today's show. On the episode, we interview my sister Veronica. We'll talk about all kinds of things, like the holidays, like how the city of Glendale has changed so much since we were little kids, and we even get to talk a little crap. Let's go for a little drive. Welcome to the newest episode of A Little Drive. Today's guest is my older sister, Veronica. We're gonna be cruising around Glendale today. Is that okay with you?
That's perfectly fine.
Great. So Veronica, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
How was your day today?
Hectic as always.
Well, hectic keeps the day interesting.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
So, as we drive around, we're just going to talk. We're just going to have a conversation.
Okay.
Pretend nobody's listening. Let's start with you and your childhood. What was your childhood like?
I think I had a pretty good childhood. I was born in 1971, so grew up in Glendale in 70s and 80s, before the dawn of the cell phone and the laptop and all that.
And the internet.
And the internet, yes. Or as Al Gore would say, the interweb, or the thing that he invented, by the way. But yeah, it was really interesting. It's like you had to go outside to play. We didn't really have video games. We had board games and card games and all that kind of stuff. And it was really cool. I actually miss it sometimes because, times like Christmas, it's like it was so far and it lasted forever. At least in my opinion, it lasted forever.
So what you're saying is that there was like a slower drawl to Christmas?
Yeah, I think that's correct. It seems like every year, once you get older, it seems to be coming quicker and leaving even quicker.
Yeah, I think that for me this year, and it may have been because I was just so busy. You get so busy around the holidays, shopping, doing holiday events, but you don't actually let it, you don't feel the holiday very much anymore.
Right.
You see the lights, you hear the music. God, you hear the music like on so many damn stations. But you don't actually, just this year, there seemed to have been like a disconnect. For me, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, there seemed to have been a disconnect with the actual holiday and me versus, like when I was a kid, I remember when we would put up the tree in the house and the anticipation of Christmas night, or Christmas Eve night, actually. And it just wasn't there this year.
No, I think it's correct, because it seems that Christmas starts, or the season starts earlier. Now they do it like the day after Thanksgiving. It's some
more like day after Halloween.
Pretty much. You see, you're already seeing Christmas trees. I think I saw, this was when the Macy's in Eagle Rock was actually the Robinson's May, and I started seeing.
Give me 1 second. Shout out to not sponsor Macy's and not sponsor Eagle Rock Plaza.
Or Robinson's May.
Or Robinson's May. Shout out to all of those that are not sponsors.
Sorry.
It's okay. No, it's okay. We can call out.
Okay, the store at a mall farther away from where we live.
Macy's in the Eagle Rock Plaza.
Which was the Robinson's May. I swear I saw this. I think this was in the 90s that I saw Christmas trees already put up in July.
They actually have this room in the very back, in the southern area of the store, that is just all Christmas stuff. Mm-hmm. It's decorations, it's fake trees, of course.
Right.
And they don't have it up all year, but they have it up most of the year. I could be wrong. Things could have changed.
Right.
But I've definitely walked in there in like July and been around Christmas decorations.
Well, there's a place up in Sullivan, California, that is a Christmas store that's open year-round. Mm-hmm. Just like now, there are places that are Halloween stores that are open all year round.
Shout out to not sponsor Halloween Town in Burbank, right there on Magnolia. I love that place. If I ever could, I want to spend the night there. Just grab a sleeping bag and just sleep inside the store. With their permission, of course. I'm not going to break in and sleep because that's silly.
Or if they had like a ginormous giveaway where you can buy everything, would be nice too.
I think I would just want to sleep in there for one night, with the Frankenstein and the Dracula just looking over me and the
with all the
zombies
music
in the
going.
corner. Yeah. Or even with all the lights out. Imagine how creepy it would look with all the lights out and no music going.
Kind of like all the figures and stuff come to life. And
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like Small Soldiers.
wasn't there a movie like that already?
Yeah, like Small Soldiers. Directed by Joe Dante, Small Soldiers. Have you ever seen Small Soldiers?
No, I have not.
I have the DVD.
Oh, you have everything.
Shout out to Joe Dante and shout out to Small Soldiers. We have to watch Small Soldiers. We'll watch it with Mom. It's a family-friendly movie.
Also, kind of reminding me of the first episode of Ash vs. Evil that we saw yesterday. Shout out to Ash.
Ash vs. the Evil Dead, shout out.
Yeah. With the doll.
Wow, that car just zoomed by with a very loud engine.
Well, we are in the #1 worst driving city in the United States.
4 consecutive years.
Yeah, shout out to Glendale.
Shout out. Shout out to that guy with the loud engine. He must be overcompensating for his small penis.
Did he have a ponytail to go with that?
I couldn't tell.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I find it really amusing to see a lot of, and I'm sorry to say this, I'm being gender specific, men with these big sports cars or these big trucks, with the loudest engines, and just as the stereotype goes, you're kind of overcompensating for something, aren't you, buddy?
Maybe they're also in their midlife crisis.
Hence the overcompensating.
Yeah, I guess. I wonder when I'm gonna hit mine and if I'm gonna want to buy some elaborate car or what I'm gonna do during that period.
Please don't. Please don't.
Well, I'm just saying, like, apparently it happens to everybody. I kind of see myself as a grounded person. I could be completely wrong, but I hope I don't encounter that.
You'll buy a mountain of Legos and build a castle.
That sounds fun. I heard that shout out to Lego, not sponsor. I heard that they are going to put out some really big roller coaster set, which Liliana, my daughter, for those of you who don't know,
Shout out to Liliana.
Shout out to Liliana, my baby. She loves roller coasters. So if that's set, well, it'll be my midlife crisis, so I'll just spend some large amount of money.
You spend it on your daughter.
Yeah, well, Lego sets aren't cheap.
No, they're not.
So maybe if I do hit that midlife crisis, I'll go ahead and I'll buy that, and her and I can build it together.
That kind of reminds me of when you got that giant Lego set.
The Black Sea Barracuda.
Yes, when we were in Palm Springs with your godmother, your godparents.
Yeah.
Shout out to
your
Brotherliness in Heaven.
Heck yeah.
And it took you all day long to make that thing.
I'll never forget it. And I did it by myself.
You did do it by yourself.
With focus and iced tea breaks and some food breaks.
Even with a baby crawling around.
Yeah, that's right.
Shout out to Carlitos.
Was he born at that time?
Yes, he was. Okay. He was born late. I think it was late 80s, early 90s. We have to ask him how old he is. I don't remember.
I think he's 6.
No, he's not 6 anymore.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. He's over 6.
Over 6?
Over 6.
Oh, okay.
Look at all the Christmas lights.
Yeah, those look nice.
Yes.
That's kind of what we're going on a cruise on today, just looking at Christmas lights.
Well, this part of Glendale tends to go out a little more on the decorations versus where we live, where remember there was that one house that already had their decorations the week before Halloween. They were already starting to show them up. It had the blow up
Wanda?
No, it did not have blow up one. It had like the blow up figures.
Well, look at that one.
That's
It looks like Christmas is exploding on their house.
It does, but I just find it interesting now that, you know, growing up, Christmas was just Christmas. Now, you know, with the vast majority of immigrants that we've had into Glendale especially, they've expanded Christmas onto January 6th, where we look at it as the Three Kings Day, Dia de los Reyes. It's called the Armenian Christmas, which is it's pretty interesting. You know, I want to know how they came up with that way of celebrating Christmas, and if how far back it dates in Armenia. That would be pretty interesting to find out from people.
Look at this. Look at how this looks pretty nice right here.
Oh, very.
This looks picturesque.
Yes, I should get out my camera and take a picture.
Yeah, I do remember our neighborhood used to look a lot more like this. It was a lot more decorative, more festive. Even with Halloween. Halloween was huge when we were kids, and now it's kind of quiet, except on Michael's Street.
Right.
Shout out to future guest Michael. He's going to be on the show eventually. But it only seems like his street is the one that has any real Halloween decorations on it, and everybody else is just
well,
Halloween.
Yeah, I think a lot because when you think about lighting, it's expensive. You can imagine what their electricity bill will look like. Obviously, houses that are bigger and can afford people to come out and decorate their houses for them, they don't have to do it, and they can kind of afford more of the electric bill. So I see some of that point. It is kind of sad, but also we also kind of live on a street that's not just residential, it's also commercial.
There's a service where people will go out and decorate your house for you.
Yes.
That's cool. I want in on that.
You see a lot of them in the San Fernando Valley. Well, there's one house.
Yeah, we'll go that way.
Yeah. You see them like they put up billboards like right off the freeway exits. It's like, oh, huh, okay, but that's in this kind of time where money is kind of more important now than it ever has been, and working is very important. So people have to make a buck somehow.
Yeah, a lot of people are working 2 jobs.
Yes.
It's somewhat normal now that people are working 2 jobs just to make ends meet and pay their bills and feed their families or themselves.
I think you work like 10 jobs, don't you?
Yes, I work too many jobs. Too many jobs, man.
Too many jobs. Shout out to the Jamaicans.
Shout out to the Jamaicans. Yes. There's a car coming. It's time to spotlight another not sponsor of A Little Drive. I'm talking about Videotech. What's Videotech? When I was growing up, we had video stores where you would go to a store and you would rent a movie or a video game. The family would go with you sometimes. Sometimes you'd go on your own, but it was an experience. And with the advent of things like Netflix, video stores died down. Blockbuster went out of business, and that was that. And that experience of going and seeing a box and turning it over and reading the synopsis it's gone, unfortunately, but not at Videotech. Videotech is my church. They have DVDs and Blu-rays of all kinds of genres from all kinds of countries. You want a horror movie from Peru? Go to Videotech. It's my church, and every time I go in there, I marvel at their selection. They have new releases too. In case you want to watch the new Transformers movie, they have that. Check out Videotech. It's in South Pasadena, 1020 Mission Street, South Pasadena, California. Enjoy. I was going to ask you, I was going to mention that I don't go out into the San Fernando Valley, even though technically Glendale is in the San Fernando Valley. Right. Glendale's like the toe, toe.
Yes.
In Simi or Chatsworth is kind of the armpit, or is it maybe the top of the head?
Well, Simi is more in Ventura County.
Okay. But that's not a valley, though.
No, Simi Valley it's just a name. It's not an experience. Just kidding.
What?
You know me. I tend
Simi Valley. It's not a valley. It's more of an experience.
Yeah.
Come to beautiful Simi Valley, rock formation,
Friends that live in Simi Valley.
geckos,
Geckos and hills and
more hills and cowboys.
more hills and yeah.
I
pretty much.
remember when I was working as a loan officer, my supervisor was making fun of Simi Valley, and he mentioned how there were a lot of cowboys with mustaches up there. He said, Simi Valley, where men are men. And obviously he was mocking it,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Well, I mean, Chatsworth and probably parts of Simi, that's where they did film a lot of westerns. There is a deli out there. Shout out to Country Deli.
Country Deli.
Not a sponsor.
A not sponsor of A Little Drive.
No. But there, if you look at the decor on the walls and the ceiling, it's all cowboys. So Chatsworth back in the 50s, you know, most of San Fernando Valley, if you remember, like, them watching movies and stuff like that, it was pretty much like mostly fruit grows, and it was very empty, and track housing and all that fun
Like a
stuff.
lot of California. I mean, Glendale back in the day was pretty empty, and it had the only airport in this area before they built LAX.
Yes.
So everybody had to fly in here to Glendale, right at where the Grandview Terminal is, just south of or west of San Fernando.
Yes.
And then just take it was a horse-drawn cart, and then eventually it was a little burping motor car to wherever it is they had to go. But it all came filtered in through Glendale.
Yes, this is true. We were like a little melting pot of people from other states to fly in. But as we were the Golden State. Everybody wants to live in California now. You know, I do have friends that live back east, and they have to deal with hurricanes and with snow and
Oh man, I was watching speaking of that, I was watching the news this morning, and they were showing some town on the East Coast. It's just covered in snow, some 4 feet of snow.
Was it Erie, Pennsylvania?
Maybe. It's a town that just got hit like really bad with snow.
Yeah, that was. I've been watching the news too, and they've been showing that, and it's like, ooh, I'm glad I don't live there.
See that? Yeah, that's the thing. I know a lot of people complain about California, and they have every right to be. It is extremely expensive to live here.
Yes.
It is overcrowded. There are
Yes.
too many people. It doesn't take you 5 minutes to get anywhere anymore. There's just too much traffic.
Yes.
But at the same time, there is so much that we don't have to deal with. We don't have to deal with blizzards.
Yes.
We don't have to deal with hurricanes.
Yes.
We don't have to deal with tornadoes. We don't have to deal with god-awful humidity. You know, like in the South.
Yes.
We don't have to deal with Confederate flags. I mean, some areas of Orange County have Confederate flags, and places that are pro that sort of mentality. But for the most part, like it's not a red state versus a blue state.
Right.
We don't have to deal with Confederate hero statues and protests of guys with like white tiki torches or what have you.
Wearing bed sheets.
Wearing bed sheets. Yeah, we don't have to deal with any of that. California is one of the most progressive states in the union.
It is, but if you remember at one time, unfortunately for us, Glendale was a hotbed of Nazi.
It had the headquarters of the neo-Nazis, right there on Broadway.
And actually, I did see it. Did have a chance to see it. A lot of lampposts did have swastikas on them.
Yeah, they took them all down.
No, there's still a few.
Really? There still are?
There's still a few. And I don't remember where exactly they were, but I saw them like, oh. Ow, I just popped my ear.
Well, don't do that.
Well, my ear has a mind of its own sometimes.
Stop it. Stop it.
We do have ice cream back there. Maybe that'll make it better.
Ice cream.
Slather it in. Hey, Southern California, where Thanksgiving it was 80-something degrees. I was wearing shorts.
It was 87 today, and it's December 27th. 27 or 28?
It's the 28th of December. Oh,
Or is it the 29th?
No, today's the 28th.
Tomorrow's the 29th.
Tomorrow's the 29th.
Ooh, look at that house. That looks nice.
There was one back there that had a major scene and had like a Santa Claus workshop scene. It was really cool.
Nice. That's nice.
Yeah. I was looking up in the hills, and it looked like
I've been there.
giant icicles were coming down. It's just the palm trees wrapped in white lights. It's very pretty.
You know which ones I like? I like those icicle lights that look like they're dripping.
Yes, I've seen those.
Those are cool. But remember when I mentioned it to you, and it was the first time you'd ever heard it?
Shh.
Look, there's some police right there.
Popo. That could be one of your friends.
People that run, yeah, maybe. That roll through that stop.
Everybody rolls through. They call it the California roll.
Yeah. Speaking of California rolls, I could go for some sushi. I haven't had sushi in maybe almost a year now. No, maybe.
You should probably really wait till your stomach really settles. Because raw fish and stomach really should not go together. It's not like peanut butter and chocolate where
That's a perfect blend right there.
It is a perfect one. Hey, the trolley's all the way up here.
Yeah, it actually comes all the way up here, turns around, and then goes back.
It'd be kind of nice if they kept it instead of using it for just the holiday.
It plays Christmas music on the inside to really put you in the mood.
I'm always in the mood for Christmas.
Oh God.
Oh,
No.
well, I'm one of those people.
Oh.
For me, okay, look. As far as, did I hit something? Sorry.
No, I said I'm looking.
Oh.
Because you said look.
No, don't look. Stop. Pay attention to your driving,
Yes.
young Jose.
Yes.
For me, Christmas music is my happy place. When I'm feeling really stressed out, it really calms me. Because I can listen to it, I can relax. If I'm having problems sleeping, I can go to sleep. So, you know, thankfully for things like Pandora, shout out to Pandora. Sorry.
Shout out to not sponsor Pandora. Man, you were just a name brand person today.
I'm so sorry. It's, you know, you can hear it all year long. And
Yeah.
it's kind of a nice thing, you know. Luckily, there's this lovely invention called the headphones. So other people don't have to hear your Christmas music if they don't want to.
Yeah, that's true. Why is this lady jaywalking at night?
Because this is Glendale and people do that. Graph. Oh, that's a new restaurant. I've never seen that one. It's interesting to see like a lot of the old businesses here and the newer businesses like the shopping center to our left.
Yeah.
I forgot what that was when we were kids, but that wasn't what it was.
I can't remember either, but that parking lot sucks.
Yes.
I don't know what it is about those establishments that I'm not going to mention there, but they can't seem to build a good parking lot. Wherever you go, that specific store
Yes.
has crappy parking lots.
Yes, no, this is very true, especially when it's mixed in with other stores.
Yeah.
This one probably has one of the smallest parking lots I've ever seen. There is a ginormous one in Granada Hills, and I don't mean the store. I mean like the parking lot, and even still, you end up parking in the boonies, and people tend to drive like, pardon the expression, their head is up their ass.
The store in Burbank
Yes.
has a horrible parking lot. And I used to work close to there, and sometimes I'd go on my lunch break, buy some oranges, buy some nuts, maybe some other snacks. But there was still that dread of having to deal with the parking lot.
Right.
And sometimes there just wasn't a space, so I would have to go park in the street. And I don't mind walking. It's good for me. But at the same time, it's like I just want to get in and out, but now I have to add more time to... Now I have to leave with more time so I can get back to work on time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's estupid.
It's dumb, and unfortunately, looking at downtown Glendale, and it's changed so much since I was a kid. It is extremely overcrowded. I don't know if they're trying to look like downtown LA or like New York City.
New York City!
I knew you were going to do that. But now they're building more condos and housing because people are just coming over and just, living here. And I mean, what I loved about Glendale, I still love Glendale, but what I loved about Glendale was it had a little bit of that small town feel.
Yeah.
Even though it was right but next to downtown LA. But it was nice. There was there were still shops and everything. You had, parking, and you had people were a little more.
Parking was free.
Parking
everywhere.
Was free. People were a little more considerate.
Yeah.
As far as especially when it comes in the realm of customer service. This is why people shop online, folks.
So I have a lot of coworkers that are in their early to mid 20s.
Uh-huh.
And they grew up with this being Glendale.
Right.
And I tell them it wasn't like that when I was a kid.
Right.
It wasn't so bougie.
And
they're like, yeah, whatever. They doubt it. They doubt it because this is all they see of the town. And I tell them, look, when I was a kid, Glendale was a small town. Mm-hmm. The only real corporate names you saw were of, besides what was in the mall, were of the fast food restaurants, the McDonald's, the Burger King. Shout out to McDonald's and Burger King, not sponsors. But everything else was just small businesses that opened at 10 and closed at 6. Mm-hmm. And by 6:30, if you were out all day, by 6:30 you were home, you were with your family, you were watching TV, you were reading a book, you were having dinner, you were playing board games. And it's just changed so much. And I myself like to go hang out in places that still have somewhat of a small town mentality. South Pasadena, Highland Park, there's Magnolia Boulevard over in Burbank that has all those little independent shops. I love that. Those are my favorite places to hang out. And unfortunately, Glendale has lost a lot of that, in my opinion.
Well, the thing with a lot of those places as well, especially for example, Highland Park, just going on York is the main thoroughfare, and it's trafficky, and it's like, okay, if I'm going to go to this place, okay, I'm going to have to look for parking, but there's no parking because there's too many people here, and it's just and unfortunately it hits every place. And I wish that, I could just go there. I mean, we do have driving services now where you don't even have to worry about parking and everything like that. Mm-hmm. But that's expensive. I mean, there's still taxi services as well. That gets expensive. And
too, with Highland Park, it's getting gentrified, unfortunately. Yes. And there's that's a very gray thing because on the one hand, it's bringing in new business opportunities. And
right.
That's cool for people who are looking to start a business. But at the same time, those businesses are out of the price range of what the people of Highland Park can currently live to afford. So it's driving up property value.
Yes.
They're losing their houses.
Yes.
And that part is extremely sad because they've lived there all their lives. They've already struggled to pay for this house. Mm-hmm. You have a guy who maybe does carpentry or he does handyman work, and maybe there's a mom who works 2 jobs. Maybe she cleans houses, and they can't keep up. They can't keep up with the gentrification that's going on. So it's a very kind of touchy subject, and it's great that communities can flourish, but at the same time, that flourishment comes at the expense of the people that have already planted their lives there for a couple decades, and that's really sad.
Yes, that's just, you have generations upon generations upon generations that live in these areas, and it, unfortunately, you have to kind of make way for progress, because progress will always come. People we're supposed to build bigger and better things, but it is at the expense of somebody losing their home or losing their jobs or whatever.
I like that catchphrase, by the way. Make way for progress.
Make way for progress.
It sounds like something you would have heard in a late 50s, early 60s propaganda film.
Yes.
Make way for progress.
Yes.
Little Timmy is not ready for progress. Little Timmy is going to end up homeless.
Oh, God, that's depressing.
But that's how they were.
Yeah.
Like, they always tried to make light of things that were actually affecting people. When I was back in film school, in documentary class, we were watching old World War II propaganda films. And there was this one that, and I don't remember the title of it, but it showed two globes, and it says, the West, and the West was us, right?
Right.
And there's the East, or the East, because these were the bad guys, these were the Axis powers, and that globe was all in darkness.
Right.
And when the camera zoomed in on the West, on us, it says, this is life in the Western, or maybe in a more propaganda West, this is life in the Western Hemisphere. And then it shows children on this playground, and they're having fun, and they're going down slides. And then it dissolves to life in the Eastern Hemisphere. And it has children, but they're all playing around cannons, and they're being kind of violent to each other. Yeah, it was so cheesy and dumb, but a lot of people believed those back in the day. And people believed that producing those would get more people behind the war efforts.
Right.
Support your local troops.
Well, they were doing they were selling bonds.
Yeah.
And a lot of celebrities back in those days were I think they were all pretty much pro-American until they started talking about the Red Scare, and then...
Oh, yeah, the whole Joseph McCarthy thing.
Yeah, that's...
Calling people out as communists.
Even in the 50s, there was propaganda films about Russia being this horrible place. Unfortunately, that was true. A lot of, waiting in line for an hour for toilet paper is really sad. But,
I was, speaking of Russia, I was talking yesterday about the 80s and how there was a lot of paranoia for the nuclear arms.
Yes.
In the 80s and the whole Star Wars thing. And I was mentioning, I don't know why this is coming up, what you mentioned about Russia. Makes me want to bring this up. There was this TV movie that was done as a news broadcast.
I remember that.
You remember that? It's called like Red Alert or something.
The Day After, I think it's called. Or
I don't remember.
about a nuclear blast and how...
It took place on like a boat.
Oh, then it's not the one.
Maybe not a boat. Gosh, we watched it in the 6th grade, which would have made it maybe like 1989. I forget when I was in 6th grade. It's a long time ago. And people thought that was real. People thought that was an absolute real broadcast, and it made them more scared of Russia. I mean, essentially that television movie and a lot of movies in the 80s made Russia as just this like real evil entity. Rocky IV. Ivan Drago, this Russian, he kills Apollo in the ring.
Damn it.
So then Rocky, by the way, this is a spoiler because I know you haven't seen any of the Rocky movies, but Rocky now has to...
I've seen that bit. I know the story of Rocky IV.
There's this great montage in Rocky IV. It is maybe one of the best. There are like a couple like perfect montages in cinema. There's that one from Rocky IV. This is just after Apollo has died. Spoiler alert for anybody who has not seen a Rocky IV. Apollo Creed dies in the ring. If you haven't seen Rocky IV or any of the Rocky movies, watch them. there's this song. Oh, let me set it up. Stallone is angry because he believes it was his fault that Apollo died. And Adrian, his wife, is like, no. And Rocky's like, I think I gotta go back in the ring and I gotta fight Apollo. And Adrian's like, you can't win. So then Rocky gets into his Lamborghini and he drives around, and there's this song. It goes, there's no easy way out. There's no shortcut home. They're only, yes, stop nodding your head, no. There are 2 perfect montages, maybe 3 perfect montages in cinema, and those 3 are split among Rocky IV and The Karate Kid. But anyway,
1 or 2 or 3?
1, because in 1 there are 2 great montages. There's the one where he just saw Mr. Miyagi do the ritual for his dead wife, and then it shows him doing training because he finally has grown this major respect for Mr. Miyagi. It's really short. It's a short montage. But then later on, when he's at the tournament, there's the "You're the best around.
I knew that was going to
Nothing's
come
gonna ever keep you down." Because it's a great montage. It's cinematic brilliance.
You really know how to hit that falsetto,
I
don't
do.
you?
Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. Maybe I should start a music career, and I should only sing like that.
You can call yourself falsetto.
Sure. You think I can hit those Michael McDonald notes? I mean, it's kind of the same range, right?
Anybody
You're
get...
the best of the world. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. See?
Oh, God.
I can be Ronald McDonald.
And Jesus. You and Chris Hardwick. Shout out to Chris Hardwick.
Shout out to Chris Hardwick, not a sponsor of A Little Drive.
You guys, he can pretty much hit that falsetto too, and it's like, okay. When I used to watch that show that is no longer on that station, that I won't promote either. So sometimes, during like a break in the questioning, he would do silly things and he would do falsettos and pretty good. It's like, okay. But I think
Michael McDonald.
I don't think I ever heard him do Michael McDonald, but Michael McDonald is the kind of voice, as far as singing and falsettos, that people can really do because it's so recognizable.
Not as good as me though.
Okay, but it's so.
That's how Michael McDonald must laugh.
Well, look, it's a hoverboard.
I didn't think those were still around, but that kid's really working that hoverboard.
Hey, shout out to the kid.
Shout out to the kid, the red hooded kid on the hoverboard who didn't even get up on the side. There he goes. All right.
I thought it was Elliott.
Shout out to Elliott, and he's got E.T. on a bike in front of him. Come on, kid. We just gave you a shout out. Come on, kid.
Twist it.
Come on, kid. Twist it. Come on, kid.
You can do it.
Si se puede. Come on, kid. Oh, I think he's stuck. Oh, boo. We're taking our shout out back, Red Hood. Boo.
No, don't blame the kid. Don't be like that parent whose kid loses at the football game.
I'm just telling you, kid. You didn't do it. It kind of sounds a little bit like Paul Bearer. Oh, yes. The kid
Rest in peace.
could not get his hoverboard on the sidewalk.
Okay, that's really annoying. That's like nails on a chalkboard.
Really? Wow. That's low.
Is that an FL guy
Run,
going
guy.
in sale?
Run. FL?
Forest Lawn.
Oh.
I wasn't trying to.
Oh. Well, shout out to Forest Lawn, a not sponsor. Look at that house over there.
Oh, we need to go see that house.
Well, I'm kind of in the turn lane now, so I don't want to break the law.
Break the law, break the law. Break the law, break the law. That house should have been on Great Christmas Light Fight. Shout out to Great Christmas Light Fight.
Shout out to Great Christmas Light Fight.
Not a sponsor.
I think I've only done 3 not sponsors.
No, you've done a few. You've done more than 3.
Before this episode, I think we got a record.
All right.
Let's see if we can turn around to go look at that house. let me tell you about one of our not sponsors, Jersey Mike's. Jersey Mike's, they're around town. They have these very delicious sandwiches, especially the number 13, which is kind of like their signature sandwich. It's the original Italian. It's got provolone, ham, prosciutto, capicola, salami, and pepperoni. It's very tasty, and if you do it Mike's way, they add the spices, oil, vinegar, and a bunch of other things that you can add to it. If you like your submarine sandwiches to be nice and full, and you don't like them to taste all the same, no matter, even if you try different things on the menu and still taste the same, then check out Jersey Mike's. Like I mentioned, they're all over the Southland. Try the number 13. The barbecue beef is really good. The Philly cheesesteak is also really good too. Check out Jersey Mike's. Go now. Pause the podcast. Go to Jersey Mike's. While you're eating Jersey Mike's, listen to the podcast some more. So we're still in Glendale, by the way. Right now we're on Glendale Avenue, very famous strip.
It is?
Out here, yeah. The whole town knows about Glendale Avenue.
They do?
Yeah, because it's, notice I said the whole town, because they better know about Glendale Avenue. They live in Glendale. I'm sure they don't know about Madison or
Los Feliz.
Green Street. Oh, they have to know Los Feliz. It's right here. Gilligan. Wow, look at that house. We'll get closer to it.
That is a really cool house.
Look, there's he made it.
He did?
He made it. Yeah,
Oh,
there he is.
good
right over
kid.
there.
Good for you,
All
kid.
right,
Yay.
Well, I'll keep my shout out. I'll keep my shout out in the show. Just for you, young Elliott. Good job.
Hey, at least he's not back in Indiana and getting pushed into the snow, and then he can't get up because he's all bundled up.
Yeah, because we don't have that kind of snow here.
Yeah.
We don't have much snow except
We have to drive really far
in the
to get the snow.
mountains. Yeah. Look at this. This is cool.
That is, I love,
Lights on roads and 88.3. I wonder what that means.
that means 88.3 has Christmas music on, so it's attached to the
nice.
houses. That's very nice. My friend Louis used to live on this street. Shout out to Louis.
Louis?
No, his name is Louis Felix. Shout out to Louis Felix.
Shout out to Louis Felix, wherever you are, Louis. Louis.
They moved to South Pasadena. Him and his husband moved to South
That's
Pass.
cool. I
Yeah.
love South Pass. I mentioned it earlier. It's one
Yes,
of my
you
favorite
did.
places to go.
Well, it's funny because they told me, or his husband told me a story that where they used to live, they tagged it on social media as Caca Village
Wow.
to be funny.
That's
Gross.
I think that's actually pretty funny. I want to go to Caca Village.
Caca Village. Thomas, we want to go to Caca Village.
You know they have a lot in Caca Village.
There's a lot of caca in Caca Village.
Yeah, but I was gonna say Kakarosh.
Cacarosh.
Yo Kakarosh. I remember, that reminds me of this time we took Mom. You weren't with me, but me and a girlfriend at the time and some friends, we took Mom to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal. Mm-hmm. Halloween Horror. I can't say horror because everybody says it sounds like I say whore.
It does sound like you. Horror is one of those words that you have to. I think you have to say it slowly, because it's true. Halloween Horror Nights. Yeah, horror nights. Yes, Universal has horror nights.
Has horror nights. That's when all the whores can go.
Well, I think that's every night, especially people who hang out on City Walk and drink a lot. Become whores.
All right. I didn't know that City Walk was basically a brothel. But anyway.
You never know.
So we went to Halloween
Secrets.
Terror Nights, and there was this guy dressed up like a zombie Scarface. Mm-hmm. So we took this picture with him, and instead of his cheese, he screamed, "You cockroach!" So in the picture, you just see him. He's got like that kind of like cockroach.
But that doesn't make sense for the theme of the evening.
Well, yeah, he's a zombie.
Well, he's a zombie, but why would you be screaming, "You cockroach"?
Because he's Scarface. You know, he calls people cockroach. I can't even do this. Hey, baby, do you want some ice cream? I can't do the Scarface.
By the way, the
accent.
microwave was going. The microwave microphone was going up into my throat.
Oh, cool.
So you might have some
It was
sounds.
trying to get inside your skin. Wow, I just heard somebody scream.
So did I.
Microphones picked it up. Somebody's screaming out there. Some kids being goofy. Ooh, goofy children.
So this restaurant that I'm not going to mention the name of
Uh-huh.
apparently is going through some tough times and will be shutting down some of their stores.
Oh, so the corporation is going through some
Yes.
tough times. Okay.
Yes, the chain has been going through some time.
Well, they expanded really fast. I mean, there are a lot of them out there.
There's a lot of them, and I wish this was one of them that are open 24 hours, which is great, especially like when you live in a college town.
Did they say why they were going to close down?
They're probably not getting a lot of business. At first, I thought it was because of one other restaurant that's been having issues with their food and people getting sick. But no, that's not the case. It's they're not making profit, which is sad because I personally like that sandwich place versus one that you like, which we won't name either.
Yeah.
I guess because I kind of grew up eating that one more. Because the only time that I had my free sandwich from them, the other place, I like I said, I believe I told you that I was not very impressed. It was fine, but it wasn't like what I'm used to. But then again, I only eat one kind of sandwich from that from this restaurant. So shout out to Meatball Subs.
Well, thank you very much for coming on the show today. I'm glad we could talk a lot about Glendale and the transition to where Glendale is now. We got to talk about gentrification, and we got to talk about Meatball Subs.
Yeah, I'm hungry now.
Yeah, me too. I guess I'm hungry. But thanks again for coming on the show. To everybody who's listening, thank you very much for listening. And Veronica, Vero, as I call her, thanks again for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It was fun.
Yes.
It was fun.
It
It
was
wasn't
fun.
romantic. It was fun.
It was fun. I like it.
Yes, very nice.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye. Bye. What are you still doing here? Bye.
Yeah, go.
Go away.
Get out of the car.
What?
Go. Just
Why are you?
leave.
Why are you still listening?
Yeah. Go do something else.
Show's
go,
over.
Go outside and play.
Yeah, get a board game.
Get a board game. Go play some Jenga.
Beat your brother at Monopoly like I used to.
Yeah. Go beat your brother up. You don't even have a brother.
No,
Go beat him
I said
up.
not beat. No, I said go beat your brother at playing Monopoly,
And then beat him up.
and then
Okay, all right. A Little Drive is hosted by me, Jose Zuazua, and is produced by Mark Mariah, who also provides our music. Find him on Twitter at MarkLarArt with a K. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram at Jose Zuazua, and also check out my website, quicklunchbreakreviews.com. Thank you for coming on A Little Drive with us today. We'll pick you up for the next one.